It is an honor to be here today to present on behalf of the regional districts of East Kootenay, Central Kootenay, and Kootenay Boundary. We're so thrilled to be awarded the Visionary Award for this year's FCM Sustainable Communities Award. Today, I'd like to tell you the story of an idea that seemed nearly impossible just a few short years ago. The idea was that the regional districts of East Kootenay, Central Kootenay, and Kootenay Boundary could lead on a clean energy transition. I'll tell you how, with a bold vision, collaboration, and innovative thinking, that vision became a reality. The setting is the Kootenay region of British Columbia, the southeast corner of the province, that's characterized by vast mountain landscapes and cold rivers, with communities that thrive on the recreational, tourism, and resource industries. In that region, which spans about 58,000 square kilometers, lives 150,000 people. Now compare that to the Lower Mainland in the town of, or the city of Coquitlam, where the same number of people live in just 28,000 square kilometers. Like many other rural regions of Canada, we do have challenges in tackling high impact climate opportunities and solutions in our region. Take, for example, the distribution of communities across the Kootenays. This example shows the distance between Fernie and Cranbrook. Now, many services are centralized in some of the larger communities in the region. As a result, we do have a reliance on personal vehicles to travel for work, recreational, and social connection. There's limited public transit due to the low population density across the region. The result on our emissions profile is that over 60% of our community-wide emissions is associated with the transportation sector. Compared with an urban center like Vancouver, where the population density can support a robust transportation network, as well as a variety of alternative and active transportation options, the greenhouse gas emissions associated with the transportation sector is less than half. Now, of course, we can take lots of inspiration and ideas from an urban center like Vancouver, but the fact of the matter is that transportation barriers and opportunities look a little different in a region like ours. The local context of any region across Canada demands solutions that are bold, collaborative, and innovative. And so, recognizing that there was a need to address this high emissions associated with transportation and that electrification was one of those opportunities, the Highway 3 Mayors and Chairs Coalition and the regional districts of East Kootenay, Central Kootenay, and Kootenay Boundary developed a vision. And that vision was to establish Canada's first community-led clean transportation network, or Accelerate Kootenays as it became known once our communications folks got involved. The idea was that we would transform the Kootenay region from one pretty barren of electric vehicle fast charging stations to one that was fully connected, supporting and inviting electric vehicle tourism, economic development, and really signaling leadership in that clean energy transition. In addition, it would inspire local uptake of electric vehicles, therefore addressing our high carbon emissions associated with personal vehicles. Now, that's not to say that prior to this initiative, there weren't any electric vehicles in the region. In fact, we had a number of highly committed electric vehicle drivers. I'll tell you about one. His name is Andrew, and this is his trusty Nissan Leaf. He would drive his Leaf between Nelson and Trail daily as his commute to work. This was a great opportunity to save money on gas and also reduce his personal greenhouse gas emissions. Now, he would also pack his family into this vehicle and really travel around the Kootenays doing what we all love to do here, which is outdoor adventures, biking, canoeing. He would travel up to Whitewater to ski. Now, Andrew was quite willing to suffer for his electric vehicle. In those early days with a lack of charging infrastructure, Andrew told me about some of the trips he would take to Kelowna. This is a 365 kilometer trip and it would take him over 24 hours. He was required to stop, pull over, plug into an RV parking lot, set up his tent, and get enough juice to get him another 100 or so kilometers down the road, particularly in the winter months. Now, Andrew was committed and really stuck it through with that electric vehicle for a number of years. But fast forward to today, when now there is a robust EV charging network across the region and beyond, as well as new technologies that has allowed him to transition his second vehicle to electric and add even more toys to his fleet. But back to the vision of how we would get to that network that would support broader uptake of electric vehicles. We established what the network would have to look like, and then determined what the price tag would be and the effort it would take. We realized that there was a significant challenge ahead of us, and that this initiative would take about $2 million to come to fruition. Enter the power of a strong collaboration. With some seed money dedicated from the regional districts, we were able to develop a story that other partners and funders could see themselves in. We were able to unlock some really creative partnerships with utilities, for example, who came in as partners to own and operate the fast charging equipment in an approach that had not been done previously in British Columbia. Or the private sector, tech, one of our major industries in the Kootenays, recognized that the products that they produce do support the clean energy transition through the development of batteries and electric vehicles themselves. Tech saw this as an opportunity to link directly to the industry and the community and support this community-led initiative. All of the partners agreed on a number of core objectives in the project. The first being that the technology had to be suited to the local context. We had to ensure that the charging stations we were procuring and installing in our region would be able to withstand the, let's say, challenging winters, the wind, the rain, the snow, the cold. That was an important element to ensure the reliability of our network. Secondly, we had to make sure that we were emphasizing and optimizing the opportunity for our communities to reduce their greenhouse gas emissions and really tell the story of this as an opportunity to contribute locally to the solution of our emissions associated with transportation. And finally, we wanted to emphasize the co-benefits and economic development opportunity of the initiative through electric vehicle tourism, which was enhanced with marketing and education. With these three objectives in mind, we were really able to galvanize the partnerships with funders and other organizations, and communities could see themselves in the vision that we had established. In addition, our partners recognized that this was an avenue to engage with and communicate with a whole host of new audiences within the region. We were able to engage with school kids, bringing the technology to their fingertips, and with communities and the general public by attending markets and other activities throughout the region. We were also able to identify a number of additional residents who shared this vision and who were enthusiastic about the EV lifestyle. One of those residents is named Greg Hill. He's a professional mountaineer that lives in Revelstoke, British Columbia. And he actually has now become referred to as Electric Greg due to his commitment to a transition to this low carbon lifestyle using an electric vehicle to fuel all of his adventures. Now, this is an interesting story of a corridor that exists between Revelstoke and Golden and is host of a very high mountain pass called Rogers Pass. This, prior to the initiative, had been a significant barrier to electric vehicle drivers in British Columbia. We had heard stories about people slowly creeping up the pass at 30 kilometers an hour in order to preserve their battery to make it to the next community. Through this really unique and innovative partnership, we were able to get an electric vehicle fast charger at the top of Rogers Pass and support folks like Greg and others who enjoy that mountainous adventure to actually be able to use an electric vehicle to access that outdoor space. Greg has become an ambassador, really, for the electric vehicle lifestyle in the Kootenays and has really demonstrated the opportunity of electric vehicles in a way that residents can relate to. And I'm sure many of you in other areas of Canada can as well. This initiative can really best be described as an unleashing of innovation. We developed creative solutions that were unlocked through really unique and powerful collaborations with communities and First Nations. I think it's worth recognizing what's happening in a couple of the photos here on the slide, and that is a celebration with the Kootenays Nation in downtown Cranbrook. This is their government building, which on that day revealed 119 solar panel installation on their government building, tied directly to a level 2 charging station that was supported by the Accelerate Kootenays network. This was a perfect description and illustration of the connectivity between renewable energy and a clean transportation network, and linking right to that historical natural source of energy. This is the type of innovative partnerships and creativity that has allowed us to tell the story in a more vibrant way around this clean energy transition. As a result, we've been able to demystify the technology and get people more acquainted with the opportunity of electric vehicles in this rural area. We were able to educate local governments and regional districts to the extent that many of them have now adopted electric vehicles as part of their fleet. But in addition to that, we've seen an uptick in electric vehicle adoption by the general public as well. This graph demonstrates some of the growth that we've seen from the beginning of the Accelerate Kootenay initiative to when the full network was deployed, and really the power of that full and robust connectivity across a regional scale. Now, before we started the initiative, we had about 22 electric vehicle, plug-in hybrid, and standard hybrid vehicles across the region. At the end of the project, by the end of 2019, that number has skyrocketed to over 200 electric vehicles and plug-in hybrids registered in the Kootenay region. We anticipate that that number is actually quite a bit higher now, as the delivery of the popular Model 3 Teslas have been rolling out over the past few months. On behalf of the regional districts of East Kootenay, Central Kootenay, and Kootenay Boundary, we really do hope that our story inspires other regions across Canada. We in the Kootenays are certainly energized about our future. Thank you.